Hello, what's up, man? What's happening? Welcome back for the Jets franchise offseason. 2015 offseason is underway, but first, we got to do a recap of how the season ended. You're checking out the Pro Bowl balloting of the Pro Bowlers. You had the usual suspects. You had the same quarterbacks. You had Breeze, you had Manning, you had Brady, but you also had Chase Daniels. That's right, the backup quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs. I guess he took Alex Smith's job, and he is an 88 overall quarterback who went to the Pro Bowl last year. You see some of the receivers and running backs. Alshon Jeffrey's there. Fitzgerald is there. Cooks, the rookie receiver from Oregon State, he made it. Vernon Davis, he made it. Look at our man, Jace Amaro, representing those Jets. Rookie tight end from Texas Tech gets to the Pro Bowl in his very first year. That's a great thing. Good job by him. So we got a lot of moves to make. We got a lot of things to go over. And this is part one. Part two, we're going to do the draft, we're going to do the preseason, and then we're going to go straight into the regular season. I'm excited for that. I'm very excited. I'm juiced, baby. So you see Mario Williams, he done made it to the Pro Bowl. Cameron Jordan, JPP, he made it to the Pro Bowl, but will he be on the move? You see that JJ Watt, he also made it. Nothing's new. And Damien Harrison, he made it as well, man. But look at our man, Damien Harrison. He's our nose tackle, and he made it to the Pro Bowl, baby. He had a fantastic year. He had about 8 sacks, and as a nose tackle, that is fantastic. And he's a free agent, so you know it is priority to get that man re-signed. Houston, he also made it to the Pro Bowl. You see Kerrigan, Suggs, Butler, Luke Kuechly, John Beeson, no Patrick Willis, no Navarro Bowman. They did not make it to the Pro Bowl this year. You got Trevathan, you got Mathis, Dumerville, Cole, you got Munnerlin, Captain Munnerlin, he made it. Brandon Browner, he has been a thorn in my side this whole series, and I've only gone up against him twice. You know what I mean? But him with the Patriots is a monster. And then, of course, you got Odell Beckham and Tavon Austin as the kick returner, CJ Spiller, and Jeremy Curley as the punt returners. So we're looking at the playoff scenarios. We had the Chargers, Patriots. The Patriots did their thing. Redskins over the Bears. You had the Tennessee Titans over Kansas City, and Detroit over Arizona for the first round of the playoffs. The divisional round, you had the Titans over the Ravens, Detroit over Green Bay, Denver over New England, 41-16, and New Orleans over Washington, 28-17. So I was like, what's going to happen here? I did not expect any of these teams to make it this far. And remember, the Tennessee Titans, they have running back Ray Rice. Their backup quarterback is Brian Hoyer, and their starting quarterback is still Jake Locker. The Tennessee Titans took on the Broncos in the AFC Championship game and won. And New Orleans put a beat down on Detroit to get to the Super Bowl. So right here, we're going to check to see who won the Super Bowl, and the Saints lost to the Tennessee Titans, led by the rushing of Ray Rice. Who knew? That's crazy. 34-30, that is the final. So there's a lot of big free agents out there. We got Dez Bryant, he's out there. You got Darrelle Revis, he's out there. Darrelle Revis, he's the king of signing one-year contracts. Like, it's ridiculous. But he's out there. Demarco Murray, he's out there. You got a lot of receivers. I already mentioned Dez Bryant, Danny Amendola, Devin Hester out there. Yeah, man, you see that right here. Greg Hardy re-signed with the Panthers. You see that, my man, Ryan Clark. I loved him when he was with the Steelers. Ryan Clark, he's going to call it a career. He ain't playing for the Redskins no more. He is done. I'm out of here. Geno Atkins is moving to right end to better fit their new scheme, which will be a 3-4 scheme. Brandon Spikes, middle linebacker, he's like, I'm not playing for Buffalo no more. I'm out. So he won't be a Buffalo Bill next year. He will not sign with them. Wes Welker, he won't be hitting free agency because the Denver Broncos have given him the franchise tag. Not a bad situation right there. Wes Welker is getting older. He's going to make a lot of money. I believe the franchise tag is about $12.5 million for a receiver. And on top of that, Denver gets to keep one of the better receivers from this past year in this franchise. He made it to the Pro Bowl. He was tops in receptions and in yards. So he had a pretty good season. And Ndamukong Suh, 6 years, $67 million. And then Brian Arakpo, he just got paid as well, $39 million. And I guess the Redskins are not worried about his injury issues. And Brandon Jennings has been cut. They call it a business decision. So you see what right here, Damien Harrison, like I said, made it to the Pro Bowl as a nose tackle. He's looking for a $34.7 million contract, 5 years, over the 5 years. I'm like, you know what? I could sweeten that. We got some cap room. I could sweeten that. You know what I mean? So we're going to make it 35.5 because we don't want him going anywhere. He was a beast on our D-line, especially when we stayed in that 3-4 scheme. When we went out to nickel and we took him out of the game, there was a lot of big running lanes. David Harris, he also had a solid year for us. He's getting older, so we don't want to give him too much money, but we also do want to re-sign him. So I'm thinking, let's go right under what he wants. He wants 10.2. Let's give him 9.8. Maybe give him an extra, some extra, pocket cash in the signing bonus. So right here, we also got Kyle Wilson. He had a pretty good season. I will re-sign him, but we are looking for new corners in free agency. So we're going to pick him up. We're going to redo his deal, but we also want some people in free agency. You see David Nelson. He was a clutch receiver on third down for us when the defense would take away Eric Decker. He wants 4 years, 5.2. That's a bad contract for him. That's a bad contract for us. So I'm thinking 1 year, 1.3, but even that's a little bit high. The total of the contract will be $1.4 million. Excuse me for that. 1.4 million. So Harrison resigns, Wilson resigns, and Nelson resigns as well. And we also decided to re-sign Kendrick Ellis. We need a backup. He's pretty good. 78 overall. Not bad at all. Haven't worked on him at all. So hey, it is what it is. So again, the top free agents out there in this free agency are Darrelle Revis, Dez Bryant. Also had Nick Fairley. You know what I mean? Demarco Murray. He's also out there. Brandon Spikes is out there. Ruse, I believe he plays for the Tennessee Titans. Look at this. Jake Lockett just won a Super Bowl with the Tennessee Titans, and he's out there in free agency. And not just him, but the backup quarterback, Brian Hoyer, is also out there in free agency. I'm like, these guys just won y'all a Super Bowl. Y'all really going to just, Trent Dilfer them? Remember when Trent Dilfer got cut from the Ravens after he won the Super Bowl? That was freaking ridiculous. So you see Tavares Jackson. Nobody wants Freeman. We could just go by that. So I'm looking for a new starting quarterback. We either going to get one through the draft or we're going to get one in a trade. Brian Hoyer, we need a quarterback. As of right now, we only have Geno Smith on the roster, and we need a backup quarterback or maybe somebody to babysit, if you know what I mean. So we're checking out the running backs. They also got Mark Ingram out there, James Starks, Rodgers. He's also out there. He fits the scheme the best, but DeMarco is out there. I mean, how could we not go after Demarco Murray? You know what I mean? I believe he's 27 right now in this franchise. He's 27 years old. So I believe we try to give him a 4 to 5 year contract. You know what I mean? Hopefully he signs it. Dez Bryant is also out there. I'm like, ain't no way in heck a team could sign Dez Bryant and DeMarco Murray. But we have so much room in our cap because the cap system is like brokenness. It's ridiculous. I don't know. But Dez, he's also out there. And I was like, man, maybe I should get him. But first things first, we had to get a right guard. So look who was available. Jari Evans. I'm like, are you serious? He wants a 2-year deal, at least $9.8 million. I'm like, I'm going to give you 3 years for about $12 million because I want this dude to be our right guard for the rest of our time here. For the next 3 years, whether we get to the Super Bowl or not, I want this dude to be the lead blocker on our run plays up the gut. We also are looking at corners, and yes, we are trying to bring Antonio Cromartie back to New York. Not only are we just trying to get him, we're also going to try and get Tramon Williams. They both fit our scheme perfectly, and we are trying to get these guys. Now, here he desires a 1-year deal. I'm going to try and get him for 2 years, and then after his 2 years are up, if we are like inching closer to a Super Bowl, for like right on the cusp of getting a Super Bowl, we'll bring him back. In other news, Antonio Gates has retired. He's like, I'm out of here, son. Not doing it. He's gone. So I'm trying to get rid of Rex Ryan. I like Rex Ryan personally. I actually think that he's a pretty good coach. His past couple of years with New York have not been good. Unfortunately, maybe there was a window where I had a time to fire a coach. I don't get it though, because if I'm the owner, I should be able to fire a coach when and whenever I feel like. You know what I mean? If I feel like firing him tomorrow, I should be able to do it. If I feel like firing him in the middle of the season, I should be able to do it, and there's no like fire button. So if you guys know if there's a fire button or not, let me know. So here we go. Geno Smith, I want him gone. Don't want him on our team. We have developed him to a 80 overall quarterback, and his accuracy never really got better. So I don't want him in a week. I believe it was week 14. We actually subbed him out. We kicked him out the starting lineup and put in Mike Vick, and we are trying to get rid of him. We're looking for a second-round pick. The only way we can do it is if we throw in a 5th-round pick, and Arizona's like, you know what, we're down with it. So we're going to get their second-round pick. They get Geno Smith and a 5th-round pick. I'm also trying to unload Chris Johnson, especially if we can get Demarco Murray. I would love to have Demarco Murray, also have Chris Ivory, and then maybe get a young running back in the draft, you know what I mean, to kind of work him into the lineup as well. Maybe a scat back, because DeMarco, he's really our every down back. And, of course, Chris Ivory is that big back. So, David Nelson, remember, we just signed him to a $1.3 million deal. It was a little bit more money than I wanted to spend on him. So I'm like, let's see if we can't trade him with somebody. We're just looking for a 6th-round pick for him, and that's what we get. So we lose a 5 to Arizona, but we also give up Geno Smith. We get rid of a bad contract with David Nelson. It's a 1-year deal, 1.3 mil. Don't really want him. And we are going to, in his place, we are going to try and get Danny Amendola. He wants 4 years. I'm like, nah, I'm not quite sure if I'm with that. So we did lower his number. We didn't give him no 9 mil for 1 year. That didn't happen. But you see, Danny Amendola, he resigned. Cromartie resigned. And Mr. Evans, all right guard, resigned. Because all right guard was just awful. DeMarco Murray, he's still on the fence. He don't know if he wants to stay in Dallas or come to New York and be a star, a.k.a. New Jersey, East Rutherford. I know where the Jets play. Anyways, though, so he sweetened the deal. $18 million over the next, I believe, 4 years still. And because I love the University of Miami, we got to try and get Devin Hester. Jeremy Curley was a Pro Bowl punt returner. I don't remember anything that he did, so probably this game is a little bit broken. So I'm like, whatever. No, I want Devin Hester. On the flip side of things, we're still looking at quarterbacks. Brian Hoyer was on the fence, so I'm like, let me try and get another quarterback just to be a babysitter, and we're going to try and get Chad Henne. All right, so those are the people that we focused on in free agency. You see that Tramon Williams just signed with us. So now we have Dean Milner, who was our 1st-round pick 2 years ago. We also have Antonio Cromartie back, and we have Tramon Williams. Now, Antonio Cromartie, he's big, he's fast, so we're definitely going to put him on the outside. Tramon Williams or Dean Milner can play on the inside, all right? We also, Devin Hester, he was like, nah, I don't want to play with y'all. Fine, we don't want you anyway, Devin Hester. Our big signing, DeMarco Murray, he is now a New York Jet. Let's go. Him and Evans were one of the main guys I wanted. We also, I believe Brian Hoyer and Chad Henne both signed with us. That's not what I wanted, so one of them will most likely be traded. Dez Bryant signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for $81 million. Not mad at you at all, Dez Bryant. You see that, who was this? Brandon Carr, Brandon Carr. He signs with the Colts. Jordan Cameron, 6-year deal, $38.8 million for a tight end. Wow, DeMarco Murray, you see, he is a Jet. Don't worry, I changed his number to 29. They had Antonio Cromartie wearing 29. I'm like, no, he's going to wear 31. We're going to get these guys' numbers straight, yada, yada, yada. JPP is leaving New York to go play for the Miami Dolphins. We're going to have to face that man twice a year. And Darrelle Revis is like, New England, I'm gone. Another 1-year deal. Look at this. Another 1-year deal, $16 million to go play for the Detroit Lions. Nate Washington, 3 years, $10 million. And again, Darrelle Revis, he is just one and done. Kuhn signs with the Titans. Maben signs with the Redskins. You look at right here, Jake Locker was a Super Bowl quarterback, and now he's signed with the Steelers. I'm going to have to check to see if Big Ben retired. But that's going to wrap this one up. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, I enjoyed bringing it to you. Hope that the rest of the day is the best of your day, and I'll see y'all later. Peace. Hot sauce.